Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Krashy, and today we're going to be doing a bit of a VOD review, or mostly just reacting to a VOD of the most recent, or one of the most recent winter tournaments from the Japanese region. Now, Spraggles actually did a look at the Block B games. I'm going to be looking at the grand finals, or the very last match of the Block A game. So they do like a day one, day two, so Block A, Block B. And we're going to be looking at Olimpo Squad versus another team. I don't know how to pronounce their team name. But Olimpo Squad has been mostly dominant in this series, but the orange side team actually was able to kind of like keep their score close enough in game number 2, flip Articuno, take Articuno, and then take the score lead. So I've been trying to learn and understand the score comp, and that's why I wanted to watch this. I'm actually going to put the audio on just for some background audio and context. So you can see the overlay, and I really like the addition of the overlay. That bottom section of the overlay, it keeps track of the games. So you see the one diamond on one side, one diamond on the other side. So Olimpo Squad has a win, and then the orange team has a win. And then it also tracks which team's getting, like they color in the overlay dots for which team's getting the Dreadnought and the Rotom. So this is what score comp's all about. They just score constantly. It's 2-2 lanes, and they just try to have the leading score going into the end of the game. Now, what it looks like is if you don't have the leading score, you pretty much have to automatically flip Articuno and try to get the lead back. And then it goes into this like frenzy phase at the end of the game where they're just doing as many of the little dunks as they can to take the lead. So lots of goal getters, lots of score shields, lots of constant dunking. I see orange dots on the purple side. I see purple dots on the orange side. They're always farming the opposing side's jungle. They're always trying to invade. It's very, very overwhelming. It's very, very fast. And it's really fun to watch and try to learn because I'm starting to see the patterns. It seems like both teams, or it seems like the teams in Japan just in general prefer Rotom over Dreadnought. But if they're like not doing well, then they'll focus the opposite. And also sometimes it seems like they just try to, and I'm not sure, sometimes it seems like they just try to focus the opposing lane than what their enemies are focusing. So like Olimpo Squad almost always focuses top lane, but it seems like the orange team tends to focus bottom lane because they're just trying to open up a path. They need to break 2 goals is what they're trying to do. 2 goals in the same lane. So it's been really, really interesting to kind of like watch this myself and kind of summarize it and really start to learn it. Now, the team comps are actually mirror matches. The only difference is that one team has a Wiggly and one team has a Snorlax. The Snorlax, I'm assuming, is being used for using block to stop like scoring with goal getters. And the Wiggly, I'm assuming, is being used for the like ult potential to, you know, spread shields and then use multiple score shields, you know, in tandem with that. So really interesting. Olimpo Squad has almost always had a lead. They seem very, very good. Probably one of the better Japanese teams, I'm assuming. I really don't know much about the Japanese region, but they're pretty much dominating top lane right now. And then I would assume that the orange team is getting the majority of their score in the bottom lane. So look at this, man. It's just such an interesting and unique playstyle because they just run all over the place and they score, and it's like it's very indicative of just like Eastern MOBA play almost, like just very, very fast. Now this is probably one of the more like actual fleshed out fights that we've seen because they don't really tend to fight each other a whole lot. But in game 2 and now in game 3, it seems like they're like a little bit more willing to try to fight each other. So we'll see how they rotate, if they want to try to keep a lead on like bottom or top lane, what objectives they want to go for. So yeah, it's weird. Like I said, Olimpo Squad has mostly focused Rotom, but sometimes they like flip it. I don't know. I don't know what the criteria for them changing their mind is. I really wish I knew, but I don't. They need to deal with the Talonflame because they don't want to let him flip it. Now they're in here. Okay, so the orange team actually got both objectives. They were able to steal that with the Snorlax Heavy Slam, and they were postured topside for the Rotom. So the Rotom goes in. They're gonna get a free 32 score off this Talonflame. Opposing team is scoring on their side. Like it's just all over the place. I feel like the crazy thing is when you watch this, it's like, look how close the score is, and look at the map. It's diagonally opened, right? Like you have tier 1 gold down, tier 1 gold down. It's a 7-point difference. It's just constant scoring. It's so fast. It's so interesting to just watch people. Like, look at this guy. This Greedent has been on their side of the map for like a little bit now, and he's just scoring as much as he can, taking it from them and scoring as much as he can. And it's, dude, it's just something to watch, man. It's really, really interesting. Back and forth. See if anybody scores on that. I don't know. Limpo Squad's definitely getting some scores in now. They seem like they're being much more aggressive and just like pushing over toward their side of the map. Look, a 60-point difference. We'll see if this YouTube player can go. I gotta root for YouTube. I guess. I don't know. Probably just because he has a channel. Let's go. No, I mean, he's just gonna score. Like, it's score shield Dragonite. Like, that's more score. Like, he didn't get that. He's gonna die here. Okay. But the Lucario has 40 points on him, which honestly, whenever you're doing this strategy, it seems preferable to have like less than half your cap. Like, I don't know, unless you're Dragonite, you know. If you're Dragonite, then you can just like score shield Buddy Barrier yourself like super often. But a lot of other characters don't want to do it too often. But like, yeah, like 7 points is enough. Like they know they can't stop that, so they just go for what they can get. There's the Hyper Beam. Oh, I don't think he was fully Dragon Danced. I don't think he was fully Dragon Danced there. So they trade though. Trade objectives. I feel like Rotom naturally just gives Olympus Squad more potential score. Here's a lot of scores going in, maybe? No? Actually had a hard time getting that in. They can try to flip it, go to the bottom goal, which I think they scored on. So it's like almost a 150-point game now. They're doing really well this one. But again, this is like the position that the orange team was in last game, the one I just watched just before this, and they just hard flipped Articuno and took the lead, and then they held the lead by doing small dunks and by defending. So the Snorlax is really good at defending. Apparently, okay, so what was thought to be a Snorlax bug was maybe confirmed as not a bug. So Snorlax can use block to push people off goals if they have score shield. I don't know. I can't confirm or deny whether or not it's a bug or not, but I've heard from a couple different competitive players that it may not be considered a bug, and teams are maybe starting to use it again, like starting to use a Snorlax. So if that's an intended design, it would be for sure great for them to tell us. But I definitely think that that's why they're allowing it here in this tournament, and that's why it's being used the way that it's being used as a way to defend. So nearly, you know, just like about an 80-point game. You know, we'll see how they can go into this final 2-minute section. More points going in. I mean, they're just trying to close the gap as much as possible. The thing is that like if you don't have the lead, I think you have to go Articuno, because it's like the only way you can possibly get points, right? Because they can just keep small scoring, you can keep small scoring, they'll probably stay ahead. So I think that if you're the team that's behind, you go Articuno. So right at the 2-minute mark, we'll probably see the orange team looking to flip, would be my guess. Right now, Rotom's going to be always good pressure, too. Just something that they might have to deal with. Oh, wow, this is actually turning into a fight. Look, this unites. This is the first time we've like really seen them like late game fight, because they just tend not to do that. Oh, man. That's bad, because the flip is like not even like possible. I think Olympus Squad might just close it out here. The Dragonite goes straight for scoring in the base. I don't think he got it because I see him Dragon Dancing, but they probably got blocked. Lucario gets his score in, and now it's just going to turn into like what feels like most likely a normal fight around Articuno, because they didn't have the potential to flip it very fast. So it's just going to be a fight. I think Olympus Squad more or less wins here, unless they lose this and they don't. Okay, so look, they lose it, but are all the players of the orange team going to be able to get out? Because I think that they're going to get some kills, yeah. And then they have to stop scoring. Like this player like has to, you know what I mean? Like he's going to go score or try to. I just don't think the orange team can close the gap too easily. Okay, so they closed the gap easily because they did have one player go score. This is crazy, man. These end games are crazy. Okay, Lucario takes the lead, so Articuno still matters a lot in this because they have the Snorlax that's defending, and they're not letting them just like get these goals in for free. So like, how do they go in and score now? They don't have a Wiggly ult, I don't think, because they used it in the last fight. So unless they're farming a Wiggly ult, they have 45 seconds. Dude, Olympus Squad is just so much better at the like the strategy of keeping the score lead, and then they've lost the end game. I didn't think Gradient was gonna, like, I thought they were only gonna have like 1 or 2 people score, but they had like 3 people score that pulled the score really high up. They have to get these points in. Like, they don't have a choice. There's got to be that final push now, and the enemy team is pushing, so it's gonna come down to whether or not they can get like 2 full scores in. It's literally 2 full scores in. And look at the block just wasn't gonna let it happen. And they get scores in? Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. I mean, they got scores in, but they're not gonna get enough. That's so crazy to watch Olympus squad lose this. I can't believe this. Snorlax is so good against it too. Look at that. Snorlax is so good against defending the late game, because it's 1 goal he has to be at, and that's it. The orange team wins it. Wow. Olympus squad, I feel like, played so well, but they just like couldn't stop the Articuno flips. So there you have it, friends. Like I said, this is just so interesting to watch, and I thought about doing all 3 games, but it's kind of long. If you want to check this out, definitely look it up. I'll put a link to the full like VOD in the description. Again, they have a block A and a block B, but it's so crazy. So as always, friends, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you're new to the channel, drop a like. Hey, drop a like anyways. I think I said this recently. Drop a like for me on the video anyways. I definitely appreciate it. Subscribe for future Pokemon Unite content. As always, be sure to be kind to one another. Tell someone that you love them, and I'll see you on the next video.